In today's video, we're going to be going through and ranking every single card right now in Clash Royale in September 2021, guys, because the brand new balance changes have affected literally so much in the current meta that this is going to be so much fun to rank every cards. And every single month, you guys really enjoy these videos, so we're coming back at you guys today with another tier list, guys. S tier is the best tier. F tier is the worst tier. You don't want to be an F. If you're a card in F, you definitely have something going on, right? Either not many people are going to be using you, you're not good, or all around just not a good card in the meta, guys. So we're gonna get into it right away. These are normally longer videos, but we're gonna take our time with it, explain each card and the reasoning, and we should have like what, 105 cards, something like that. We have Elite Barbs starting this thing off, guys. Honestly, we're gonna go ahead and put them in C tier. They really aren't the best. I mean, they can be very strong, obviously they can be, but overall I really don't see them at all on ladder, and the reason being is 60 elixir is a lot of elixir to have a tank buster, guys. There's better tank busters right now in the game than Elite Barbarians, and as a win condition, I guess they can work in mid ladder or lower, but for me, they aren't cutting it, guys. C tier. Actually, we'll go B. They're solid. I mean, they definitely do what they're supposed to, but certainly not A or S, in my opinion, guys. Let's go ahead. Archers, they're going in D tier here to now. We're throwing them in E. I feel like archers are generally used in Expo, and that is literally it. And Expo is low-key dead, kind of. I mean, I haven't had a problem with Expo in however many years, boys. Nah, seriously, I haven't had a problem with Expo, and honestly, I don't think Expo's the best right now. So we gotta toss archers in E. They'd normally be a D or C, but they just are not average. They're below average for me, guys. We aren't playing no games today. They don't get the participation award. They're going to E to start this thing off. Let's go. Baby Dragon, you're a B. Not bad, not good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in C, actually, because Baby Dragon, I would not say it's on the level of the Elite Barbarians, right? They cannot make or break a deck. Baby Dragon's more of a support card, nothing wrong with it, but certainly nothing crazy good about it either. So Bandit going to actually be our first A tier today, guys. Bandit's a great card. It's one of the strongest, if not the strongest legendary card in the game. In terms of bridge spam decks and use rate, I mean, it's a pretty used card, right? You see it all quite often. It's always very strong, and I really like it because 3 elixir, it's a great card, a lot of versatility to it. Barbarian HUD's gonna go in F. You literally just cannot use it, guys. It's not viable in this meta because it's 7 elixir. It doesn't really do a whole lot, and honestly, I'm fine with that. I don't like spawners as much as you guys probably don't either, but yeah, Barb HUD's gonna go F. Barbarians, they're gonna go ahead and actually go in B, because I think they're kind of on the level of the Elite Barbs, where they certainly work in some decks, but I mean, we gotta throw them in C, guys. I mean, they're alright. They're alright in like Lava Hound and other style decks like that. There's some weird versions of decks with the Barbarians in there, like Royal Hogs has some Barbarian versions, but come on. I mean, they're great. I just think there's other better cards that do the same thing in terms of like tank busting. You got your Inferno Tower, you got other stuff like that. The Barbarians are pretty squishy, and the splash damage, there's splash damage everywhere. The Barbs are gonna get absolutely floored. So the Barbarian Barrel actually gonna go ahead and be in C tier. Normally it'd be a B or an A, but I think Snowball's overtaking it, guys. So that's where like this tier list is going to be changed and different than a lot of the prior ones, which is really exciting. Obviously, I love that, guys. You love to see change. Let's go ahead and toss the bats. Well, they're going to go ahead and be in D tier. Obviously, they do work. They definitely do some damage and a lot of value in certain situations, but now that the snowball's meta, now that your zaps are everywhere, we're going ahead and leaving them in D. There's going to be better use rates for other cards. Let's go. Battle Healer, you're going to go ahead and be in an E tier. Obviously, it's going to be viable in Elixir Golem, but I don't think there's really too much where Battle Healer is going to be necessary. Honestly, she probably should go in F, but we're going to leave it in E tier because, I mean, she does her purpose. It's just not very strong or in the meta. Let's go ahead, toss the Battle Ram in C tier. Honestly, I used to rank Battle Ram really low, and I think I've been a little bit too harsh on it, guys. It's great in bridge spam. I'm not gonna lie to you. It does its job. It applies a lot of pressure, and for 4 elixir, if that thing connects, I mean, it does work, but it does have to connect, right? So it doesn't have a ton of hit points. It's nothing crazy, but I think it's a very fair rating to give it in the C tier, guys. Let's go. Dark Goblin, what do you got for us? We're gonna go ahead and toss the Dark Goblin in C tier once again. It's iffy. It's really not the best. It's really not overpowered. It is certainly a good card, but it's not Elite Barbarians level, guys. It's a Dark Goblin. He can just get destroyed by the logs and such. So, yeah, I really don't think Dark Goblin... I think Dark Goblin is overhyped. Dark Goblin's really not hyped, but I think for that much he's hyped for, it's overhyped. I mean, I don't think he's that good. Let's go Bomber. Gonna go ahead and obviously 2 elixir, not 3, but Bomber's gonna go ahead and be in C tier now. Obviously, nothing crazy going on with Bomber, guys. I haven't actually seen Bomber hardly at all after the balance changes. Have you guys been seeing Bomber? I haven't. Where'd he go, right? I mean, the balance changes, guys, absolutely putting a big damper on the use rate of Bomber, apparently. Interesting stuff. Let's go ahead and toss the Bomb Tower here in B tier, not because a lot of people are using it, but because it is a solid building now. It serves its purpose for sure. It will destroy those Royal Hogs, and it does, you know, it does well. I've actually been seeing it a lot, not necessarily on ladder where I am. If you guys are curious, I'm currently at about 6,100, 6,050 trophies in Clash Royale right now, and I really haven't seen many Bomb Towers, but I've been playing some tournaments for fun, and Bomb Towers are everywhere. I don't know what trophy range Bomb Towers are at, but they got to be somewhere, guys. The Bomb Tower, it's not bad at all. Let's go ahead. Bowler, gonna go ahead and go in C tier. I'd say it does its thing, but obviously for 5 elixirs, it can only be so viable. You obviously see it in those Lumberjack balloon decks and such. Elixir Pump, gonna be an F tier, our second one of the day. It does nothing, guys. I faced Elixir Pump many times today, and the only time I lost to it is when it was Golem, Elite Barbs, beat down. I just couldn't kill it. But yeah, I mean, if you have any sort of spell, the Elixir Pump really is negative trades. Inferno Tower is gonna go ahead and actually be in the... This is risky. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and toss Inferno Tower in B tier. I personally think it should be in A tier, but I mean, overall, I don't think it's on a different... I think it's better than Bomb Tower, guys. Oof, this is tough. This is actually tough. Inferno Tower. We're gonna leave it in B tier, guys, because it's really strong. In my deck specifically, like, Inferno Tower saves me, dude. Can get so much value, can fry up those tanks, and I think Inferno Tower is great. I think it's really strong. Out of the Bs so far, Inferno Tower is easily taking a cake for me. Mortar, it's gonna go ahead and be in C. It's average. It is average, guys. Hidden Tesla, it's gonna stay in B tier for me. People are saying it's crazy, but it's really not. I mean, it's just a Hidden Tesla, and the fact that it actually dies a lot faster is making a big impact. At least it was on my deck, hence why I've been using the Inferno Tower. I think the Inferno Tower's got much more value in this meta than the Tesla. I kill Electro Giant players with the Inferno Tower. I don't need the Tesla, right? It's me. It's working for me. It might not work for you, but I'm just saying, like, the only reason I would go with the Tesla over the Inferno Tower in most cases is, like, spawners. It can deal with the constant spam much better than an Inferno Tower because it does direct damage. Obviously, it used to be alive for so much longer, but now that it's the same as the Inferno Tower, I'd much rather be well off against those tanky units like P.E.K.K.A.s, Golems, Electro Giants with the Inferno Tower instead of the Tesla. The Tesla's too squishy. I truly think that the Tesla got affected big time by that nerf. People are saying it's still #1 by far, but I think you're being a little crazy there, guys. You gotta relax. You gotta remember that the Inferno Tower can get so much value, especially against Lumberjack Balloon. The Tesla now actually, like, it's so hard to keep up with the Lumberjack Balloon player's cycle, especially if they have a fast one, because you cannot, like, I mean, you can place a Tesla, but it's dead before the Lumberjack Balloon even crosses the bridge, right? So it's just real weird stuff. Expo, it's gonna go ahead and be in D tier. It's nothing crazy, obviously. I'm not a big fan of it. Cannon Card's gonna go in B, guys. It's a high B for me, because it's just, Cannon Card is a really underrated card. It really is. It's strong. It does so much damage, guys. It is like a Hidden Tesla on wheels, pre-nerf, just constant shots going out, it seems like, but it does so much damage, obviously, as well. Cannon, I would say it's E. People simp over the Cannon because there's Hog 2.6 players that watch me. A lot of them, apparently. But it's really not that good. There's no reason you should use the Cannon over either of these two cards unless you're trying to be Oyasu or something. Just don't use the Cannon, right? There's no reason to in a lot of situations, guys. These three defenses are all much better than the Cannon, in my opinion. The Cannon's gonna get I mean, if you don't believe me, that's fine. But the Cannon is gonna get steamrolled by things like Elixir Golem, Bandit, Royal Hogs, Electro Giant. Electro Giant is the only thing that really, where the Cannon would be maybe decent, but even then, the Cannon's not going to have as much HP as these two. I just really don't think the Cannon should be on the same level as the rest of the defenses, guys. I really don't. So, Balloon. Balloon's got to be A tier, guys. I hate to do this, but it's a really good card. I mean, if it gets on that tower, obviously the guaranteed, like, 1,000 damage if it's high level is ridiculous to me. That is how I've lost most of my games, and the Balloon is the sole reason why I have switched to Hidden Inferno Tower here over the Tesla. Because, like I said, the Tesla was not cutting it. I needed something more meaty. The Inferno Tower shuts it down pretty well, but the Balloon, guys, Balloon Lumberjack, or even just Balloon P.E.K.K.A., I've been facing a lot of weird stuff. And the Balloon, guys, it is really strong when it gets onto your tower. So if people can somehow make that connect consistently, you're gonna lose. Balloon Miner is another one, and Lava Hound. It's all strong. All the decks of the Balloon are pretty strong. So yeah, it's got to be an A tier, guys, just like the Bandit here. Golem, it's gonna go ahead and be an E tier. I mean, first of all, it takes no skill. Second of all, it's kind of dead from the Night Witch nerf. Third of all, I mean, there's variations of Golem actually that kind of work, but in terms of a win condition, guys, I'm going to be really harsh on Golem here and go E. A lot of the Golem players out there probably won't agree with this, and that's fine, but we don't care. Witch is going in F, guys. Every time I face her, obviously, like, I get such a positive Elixir trade because you can literally counter her with so many cards that are much cheaper than the Witch. The Witch is too expensive and literally does, like, no damage or value. There's really no deck where you could use a Witch over something and absolutely crush unless you have a really lucky matchup. Witch is going in the F tier, guys. Same thing as these. Clone spell, it's going to go ahead and be an E. I mean, I really don't think Golem Clone is as viable now. Not going to be as strong, though, guys. Golem Clone used to be built different. It used to crush if you didn't have a perfect matchup against it. And now I have not seen Golem Clone once. Prior to the balance changes, I've seen Golem Clone at least once every 10 games. Now, I'm not seeing it at all. So I think the Clone spell got hit pretty hard here. I have not been seeing it, guys. What about you? What about you guys? Have you guys been seeing the Clone? We'll see. Dark Prince going in A tier. It's a very strong card. Night Witch going to go ahead and be an E tier. Really a pretty bad card, as well as Golem, which I'm happy about, guys. Let me not, like, I'm so happy. Let's go ahead and toss Quake in B tier. I think in terms of spells, Quake is underrated. I mean, a lot of decks, including, like, yeah, the Royal Hog cycle and stuff like that. The Quake spell's a big part of that. Even Hog Quake is still decently strong, especially since they didn't test the nerf and stuff. So it's cool to see Quake doing well. Honestly, I don't mind losing to like a Quake cycle player because it's always a good fight in overtime. It could really go either way, and a lot of times I think. Let's go ahead and toss Electro Dragon into C tier. I think Electro Dragon's kind of on the same level as Baby Dragon, to where they're interchangeable, but Electro Dragon does have that unique ability of the Electro, obviously the stun, making it 5 Elixir over 4 Elixir. A little less tanky, but it certainly can make its way into a lot of decks. I've actually, like I said, the only Golem deck I've really lost to is Golem Electro Dragon Beatdown, guys, that has the Prince instead of the Night Witch. So it's a heavier deck. It definitely can get some work done, and it's pretty strong. We're going to go ahead and toss Electro Giant on D tier here. I haven't really faced it too much, though at times I did face it. I just literally obliterated it. I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts on this. Please comment down below what your thoughts on Electro Giant after the nerf. Are you struggling with it? Are you crushing it? For me, it's not a problem. I used to see Electro Giant and, you know, I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be great. But now I mean, it's actually great. Like, I've been beating it most time, if not every time, with my deck. So let me know what you guys think about that. Electro Spirit, it's gonna go in S tier, guys. It's gonna do it. Electro Spirit is so strong. Out of the spirits, it's not a contest. Electro Spirit takes the cake. It stuns Inferno Dragons. It literally can get so much value. And the Electro Spirit, guys, although it can give you easy King Tower activation, we're leaving it in S tier anyways, because I'm a major sim for the Electro Spirit. It's potentially my favorite card in the game for a reason, right? It has saved me from so many L's, turned them into W's, and we've gotten so many wins off of it. It is such a fun card to play. Obviously, it's not as strong as the Fire Spirit was last meta, but now that the Fire Spirit's been nerfed, the Electro Spirit, it's not even a contest, guys. I think the Electro Spirit is the strongest spirit in the game. It's really, really up there, guys, which is so exciting, obviously. So S tier for the Electro Spirit, because I think he's seriously underrated, even though a lot of people use him, even though a lot of people know the power. Come on, he deserves more credit, guys. He's crazy. Electro Wizard, gonna go ahead and be in B tier. Certainly a great addition to many decks. A little bit over the Electro Dragon here, because he's a little cheaper, and he's a little bit more versatile. Obviously, in P.E.K.K.A. Brave Spam, he's gonna be great as well. Elixir Golem, we're gonna go ahead and toss an F. We're gonna toss in an E, actually. I mean, the Elixir Golem is not good, but in Elixir Golem, like the Elixir Golem decks with Battle Healer, it makes it work, I guess. Executioner, the boosted card, is gonna go in D. I just don't think it gives you the real value you need. I mean, it's better than Wizard, it's better than Witch, but it's not C tier, guys. It's not on the same level as these cards. I think it's honestly generous of me to put it in D. I think it does kind of belong in E here. It's in the Viper deck, obviously, but not many people can play that at a such elite level. But let's go. Firecracker. What you got for us here? I think we're going to go ahead and put Firecracker in C tier. A lot of arrows and logs and stuff. I mean, the Firecracker, not a big issue here. Let's go ahead. Fireball, guys. It's going in A. It's going in A. Poison is great, but Fireball is still great. I've been crushing with Fireball log bait, and I mean, there's so much Fireball value in a lot of decks right now, so you're always getting that value, as well as Poison, obviously. But I really like Fireball. Let's keep this going, dude. Alright, Goblin Hut is going to go ahead and actually be in D tier. It could be worse. It certainly could be ranked lower. It could be ranked maybe even higher. But I think the constant pressure it puts on, now that the Tesla was nerfed, Goblin Hut ain't bad, guys. Goblin Hut ain't bad. It's alright, because obviously the Tesla used to be able to shut it down, but now it dies so fast that the Goblins can overrun you. Obviously, it's not the greatest thing, but I faced a P.E.K.K.A. Lightning deck earlier today. with the Goblin Hunt here, and it was a really strong deck. So I think Goblin Hunt, you know, it's a little bit underrated, I'd say. It's C tier, very interesting card. Furnace is going to go ahead and be in C tier as well. It would be B or A if the Fire Spirit was still crazy, but I think Furnace is a really strong card. It certainly can get the job done. It's just weird that the Fire Spirit, you know, it doesn't give that same value that it used to. I think the Furnace is kind of on the same level as Goblin Hunt, guys. Furnace might be a little stronger, so we'll put Furnace ahead of it because it is stronger, but I mean, they're both C tier for me. They're average cards, right? You have your fireballs, you have your poisons. Since both of those cards are so powerful in this meta, you're going to be facing a fireball or poison a lot of decks. So, or quake. So, I mean, or lightning, or rocket. Like, there's so many answers. The spells are pretty heavy in this meta. So, I don't think you're going to get as much value as you would with the Furnace or Goblin Hunt. That's just my opinion, obviously. If it's working for you, obviously keep using it. Fire Spirit, it's going to go ahead and be in B tier. It's certainly a strong spirit, not as good as it once was, and I'm happy about that. I think it's in a really good spot now because it can get that awesome value. It's just much more unlikely to happen since that radius is much smaller. But now that nerf happened, I mean, people are still using it. It's just not as crazy. So I think it's a great change. Fisherman going to be a very strong card, but we'll put it in A, guys. I think it serves its purpose pretty well, but I mean, hey, it's not everywhere. I really thought Fisherman would be more popular after the balance changes, and it's really not. I mean, the Fisherman's great. Fisherman's doing its job, but I haven't seen almost any Fisherman. Now, let me know if that's just me, guys. Let's go. Flying Machine. It's a good card, but it does get fireballed, so I think Flying Machine's going to go in C tier just because, like I said, guys, the poisons, the fireballs, it'll take it down really without much of a problem. Freeze Spell's going to go in D. I think Freeze should go in F because I hate it, but, I mean, it's really not that strong. I think right now a lot of decks are not carrying the Freeze. Royal Ghost, a very strong card in my opinion, guys. We're gonna go ahead and put it in B. It serves its purpose, it gets its value, and adds a card in B tier. I think that's fair. I think it's on the level of the Electro Wizard, you know? It's a good card for sure. It's not breaking the game like the Bandit. Nah, Bandit's good. Bandit's really good. Royal Ghost is just good. You know what I'm saying? C tier is like average, B is good, A is really good, S is like, yes, dude. But yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. Giant Skeleton, F tier, and have not seen that guy in years, dude. Where is he? Maybe he's stuck somewhere. Maybe he needs our help. I don't know. I have not seen him. I have not seen them. Spear Goblins. We're going to go ahead and put them in D tier. I really haven't seen them at all, and when I do, I don't think they're very effective. Goblin Barrel going to go ahead and be in A tier now, guys. Sorry, not S. A tier. Goblin Barrel. It's putting in work, dude. This season compared to last season is so much better for log bait, not only because of the Fire Spirit, but I just feel like people are carrying less logs or less Barb Barrels. The Snowball, I thought, would really hinder the Goblin Barrel, but a lot of people are struggling with the timing, at least where I am, and they aren't fully countering the Goblin Barrel. So Goblin Barrel has been great for me, guys. A tier for me. A tier for the Goblin Brawler as well. A super strong defensive building. I think it's over these right now. I seriously think the Goblin Brawler is over these three because it has so much value, right? It can tank, it can do the work, and it can pull units that you need to be pulled. So very good card. Spear Goblins, we're actually going to go ahead and toss them in D as well. It's not Spear Guys, the Goblin Gang. It's going in D. It's nothing crazy. Honestly, we're going in E. It's really not. I mean, people using it in log bait, stop it. I suggest for you to use one unit skeletons. They do almost the same thing as these guys. Goblin Giant? Oh, yes? Nah, I think he's C. I think he's C tier, guys. He's nothing crazy. Goblin Giant's going to stay in C tier for me. I think there's a lot of P.E.K.K.A. bridge spam. There's a lot of counters to the Goblin Giant. Just not one of the stronger win conditions in the game right now. Goblins are going to go ahead and be in Spear Goblins tier D here. Nothing crazy once again. I mean, the Goblins, they did get that little rework slash buff. People call it a buff. I haven't seen it used too often, though. They have not been used. Graveyard, going to go ahead and be in D tier. It's all right. Actually, we'll go ahead and toss it in C. It's an average card, I would say. It's not crazy. It's good, but the Mother Witch, I mean, she's still there. It's still risky. Who knows, guys? Who knows? Heal Spirit's going to go ahead and be in the B tier. Not because it should be, but because of the Royal Hogs. That is the only reason why the Heal Spirit is on this list right now in B tier. Heal Spirit would have been an F, but it's an E because of the Royal Hogs. Not a very good card. The Heal Spirit doesn't belong in many decks, if any. But the Royal Hogs, if they get healed, it is like infinite amounts of HP all of a sudden come back to life. I don't know why. I think it's because the Royal Hogs have so much HP that it just boosts them by so much. Let's say all the Hogs are tagged. The Heal Spirit hops. I mean, they literally almost go, if not always, go back up to full HP. And when they have so much health, that is a serious problem, guys. They can do some work at full HP on your tower. So the Heal Spirit, it's got to be in B tier. It's as good as a Fire Spirit now, if not better, in Royal Hogs decks. That's a That's a hot take, but that is 100% no cap truth, guys, because heal speed's been crazy. I mean, I've almost lost games because the Royal Hogs get like literally a second life from the heal speed. It's crazy. So very interesting to see. Obviously, the Hog Rider gonna go ahead and be in C tier. It's an average win condition. I wouldn't say it is on the level of the Cannon Car and such on B tier. So hey, let's put it in C then. Let's go ahead and put the Hunter in B, guys. It's not bad at all. It does its job. It's a strong card, dare I say. It's certainly not as good as it once was, but it's not bad as it was before the reworks, changes either. I think it's a good card. It has a good spot in the meta, like the Cannon Card, like the E-Barbs, like the Royal Ghost. It's certainly good. It is certainly good. Does its job for sure. Ice Golem, we're gonna go ahead and go in D tier. I mean, it does its job, and for 2 Elixir, it's honestly not bad. So we'll throw him this C. Ice Wizard, trash. We're gonna go ahead and put him in E. Should not be using him, guys. Come on, don't use the Ice Wizard. Even Ice Spell players, like, you gotta make some sort of substitution here. Inferno Dragon will go in A tier. Now, what I'm realizing right now is we really don't have many S tiers. Is this me being too harsh, or is this real, no cap, what's happening, guys? I'm interested to see your guys' opinions on this. I am interested because, I mean, this list is a complete mess compared to last season. So, it's exciting to see, but I was just wondering what you guys' opinions are on this. So, we'll obviously change things around at the end. Obviously, some final thoughts and stuff, so stay till the end if you're enjoying today's video. Leave a like, but let's keep it going, guys. The Knight. He's a great card. I would say he's on the level of the Executioner and Electro Giant. He can get his value. Obviously not as popular right now because of the Valkyrie and Dark Prince taking over, but the Knight's not bad. You can't knock on him. Let's go ahead and toss Lava Hound in B tier. The Lava Hound decks are certainly there, and they are good, guys. Lava Hound, it's a strong card and win con in the game right now, if you could even call it that. I guess it's more of a tank, but the Lava Hound, guys, I've been losing to it. I've also been winning with it, so it's interesting for sure. Let's go ahead and toss the Lightning in C tier. It's an average spell. It can certainly be good in some decks. Magic Archer, like the Flying Machine, it's good Fireball bait, but it's nothing actually, hold on. We're tossing him in B. Reason being is I've actually had some games, guys, where the Magic Archer's lineup has won people the games. Like, he does work if you line that up. Mega Knight's gonna go ahead and be in C tier. There's a lot of P.E.K.K.A. this season. I don't think you should be using Mega Knight too often. He's good, though. He's an average card, I guess. Mega Minion's alright. I don't know. Mega Minion's obviously really popular for a reason. Mega Minion has decent HP, but it does a lot of damage. Mega Minion's definitely better and deserves the B tier because it's better than a lot of these cards in C for sure, dude. If not all. So let's go ahead and toss the Miner in B tier. You know what? We have not seen the Miner in B tier in how long? No, he's going in A. He's going in A, guys. Not only because of the poison, but the Miner balloon decks this season. The Miner Lava Hound, right? You know what I'm saying right now? Like the Miner Mega Knight decks. Miner is here, and he's better than he has been in a very long time, and I'm fine with it. It's a fun card to play against. There's a lot of Miner. Not only is there like Miner Rocket Cycle, there's Miner Dark Prince World Delivery decks, there's Miner everywhere, hence why Miner. He's going in A tier. That's a bold decision, guys. But I think it's deserved. I mean, you guys gotta admit, he's in everywhere, as it seems. Miner. You gotta calm down, dude. He's crazy. Minion Horde. Really not that good. We're gonna go ahead and put Minion Horde in D tier. I guess it can now at E at... We will put the Minion Horde in F tier, guys. No, we'll put it in E. It can work. It can, but it really never should. Let's go ahead and put normal minions in B tier. I would say they are good this season. In Lava Hound decks and Giant decks, they actually crush, guys. Compared to the bats, they have much more HP. They can be harder to deal with. Poison Spell kind of shoves them down, but I would say they are actually good, especially with the Miner in some decks. Mini P.E.K.K.A. gonna go ahead and be in C tier as a solid, mediocre tank buster. Mirror will go ahead and be in F tier. You really don't see Mirror ever. Mother Witch, she's average this season, guys. She is certainly average. I mean, she's a lot more squishy than she once was. I think Mother Witch going from S to C, I really don't know if that's justified to put her in C tier, guys. I think we're gonna have to rearrange this. We'll put her in B tier. Certainly, like, S to C could be a thing, but not. Mother Witch is alright. She's alright. Musketeer gonna go ahead and be in C tier and average. P.E.K.K.A. is certainly better than the Mega Knight. We're going to head and put the P.E.K.K.A. in A tier. That's bold, but I mean, P.E.K.K.A. is a really good win condition in this meta, guys. Like, he shuts down a lot. I mean, he might struggle against the Cycle decks, but P.E.K.K.A. will shut down the Electro Giants, the Golems, the Hogs, the Mega Knights. You know what I mean? Like, that's a really, really good win con. I think P.E.K.K.A deserves an A tier this season, guys. It's a good card. It's looking real promising for P.E.K.K.A this season. Poison, we're going to go ahead and put it in S tier. I don't think... See, this one's a little bit controversial. A lot of people are going to be like, Diddy, Poison doesn't determine a lot. It's not that strong, but I mean, we're putting it in S tier because of how much this change has changed the meta, guys. A lot has changed. A lot. Golem clones out of it. You got the minor poison decks. You got the giant poison decks. You got all sorts of poison decks. All sorts of decks being killed because of the poison. A lot's happened because of the poison, hence why it is going in the S tier. It has affected this meta in a major way. Graveyards all the way down here because poison completely shuts it down, guys. Lots and lots of reasons why poison is one of the stronger cards in the game right now. So the fact that it changed the meta so much, and it is obviously such a strong spell. I mean, that's a recipe for S tier, guys. You already know. Let's go. Prince, B tier. Very solid. Princess, A tier. Dare I say maybe S? No, Princess is good. Princess is good, though. Lumberjack, we'll go ahead and put in B. Rage, F. Get him out of here. Okay, Rage, like Minion Horde, it works in like 2% of decks, not even really half the time. But Ram Rider, gonna go ahead and be in B tier. Ram Rider's good. Ram Rider's good because it can slow stuff down, but I still don't think it's worth it, right? Rascals are going to go ahead and be in D tier, certainly below average card. We will go ahead and put the Rocket in. I think the Rocket is being outshined by the Quake, the Fireball, and the Poison this season, guys. I don't think Rocket is what it once was. It's still a great spell like the Lightning, but it is certainly outshined by these three spells here, guys. All right, Royal Giant, gonna go ahead and be in B tier. It was S tier, now it is B tier. That change has affected it big time. I have not seen Royal Giant in I don't even know how long. Once again, this could just be a me thing, but it's a big change, guys. The fact that, like, that first shot was always huge for Royal Giant. It got nerfed pretty hard along with the Mother, which, nerfing the entire Royal Giant archetype, really, it's interesting to see. Let's go. Royal Hogs, S tier. A very strong win condition in Clash Royale. So much HP leads to a lot of damage on the tower, and they just seemingly will never die, which is both exciting because they're changing the meta, but also scary if it's on your tower and you are dying to it. But I think they're a great card. I think they're in a good spot, honestly. I mean, there's answers to them, guys. If you're struggling with them, throw in some splash damage, throw in a Fireball, throw in a Poison, right? Throw in a Valkyrie. For sakes, right? You could even throw in a Valkyrie, which really does shut it down. Or the Bomb Tower, guys. There's a lot of answers to these Royal Hogs, so I think they aren't in a terrible spot. I think it's a fair card right now. Royal Recruits. Gonna go in C tier. They're certainly average, but I would have put them in D before because of how much splash damage there is, but I think they're C just because of Royal Hogs. There's some variants going around. Got Skeleton Barrel's C tier, pretty average. Skeleton Dragons, average, a little bit below average. Going to go in the D tier. Skarmy is going to go in B because it is a great card. Skarmy's a great card in the meta and always has been. It can counter the Goblin Barrels, guys. It can counter stuff that's let alone. It can get so much value in those lower arenas. Really strong card. We're going to go ahead and put the 1-unit Skeletons in S tier. The best Cycle card, in my opinion. 100%. And Cycle is such a massive part of this meta. 1-unit Skeletons are going in S tier, guys. Really, really strong card in terms of cyclage. It can distract the Princes. It can distract the P.E.K.K.As. It can kite Lumberjack Balloons to allow you to fireball them. It's really, really strong card. 1-unit Skeletons took my deck from like an 8 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 to maybe a 12 out of 10. If I have so many good matchups just because of the cycle speed of these bad boys and the Electro Spirit combined. It's a great, great strategy. Big fan of the 1-unit Skeletons, guys. We're going to go ahead and toss the guards in as a high A because the guards, like the 1-unit Skeletons, or sorry, like the Poison spell, catapulted into the meta with a big, fierce change in the guard change, guys. It's huge. Guards are being seen in many decks. They're strong. They do a ton of damage, and those shields, guys, it's awesome to see that the guards are in the meta. Snowball, it's going to be an S tier for me. Nah, it's going A. It's going A. I'd say it's the same level as Fireball. Very strong card, but it's not necessarily game-breaking or at least like top of the line as these 4 cards at the top here. I think that's a fair judgment there. Let's go ahead and toss the Ice Spirit in C tier. It's below the Fire Spirit. It's below the Heal Spirit for sure. Ice Spirit is the worst spirit in the game right now. Log bait players that are not using the Electro Spirit and using the Ice Spirit are simply out of date. I'm sorry, but seriously, you should use the Electro Spirit, guys. In my opinion, it's so much stronger than the Ice Spirit. You get so much more value. The log can be a tier spell like this Snowball. It's a very strong log spell. 3M. It would be trash, but it's C tier. I think the I don't know why, but I'm seeing so much Three Musketeers all of a sudden. I would assume The Three Musketeers are going to go in C. They normally would be like E or F, but the Royal Hog version with the 3M is actually decent. Tombstone is good. It's actually not, okay, no, it's not better than the Furnace. It's mediocre. Because, like, in Lava Hound decks, it's actually really, really good now. That one skeleton, extra skeleton when it dies, actually makes a big difference. I don't know why, but it really does. It really does. Tornado's alright. It's going to go in B tier. Going to be still outshined by the Quake, Fireball, Log, and Poison, in my opinion, and Snowball. The Valkyrie, unlike the Dark Prince, is actually going to go in S tier. The Valkyrie does a much better job at handling the Royal Hogs and other stuff, including Goblin Drill. She does so much work, and she is the strongest mini tank in the game right now. 100% my opinion, like I said before. But I mean, the Valkyrie, guys, she does so much splash damage. She can crush stuff, and when you have a fast cycle with Valkyrie, you can shut stuff down. It's so much fun. Wall Breakers gonna go ahead and be in A tier. There's a lot of minor cycle going around, right? The Wall Breakers are strong. Wizard going to go ahead and be in D tier. Yeah, I think the Wizard is a little bit worse than the Executioner, in my opinion. The Wizard's really squishy, right? You're really not going to get positive elixir trades from him. So we're going to go ahead and put him in E, actually. Pretty mediocre card. Sparky's going to go ahead and be in D tier here, guys. It's kind of on the same level as Electro Giant, where it has its variant. It's not necessarily super strong, though. The Zappies are going to go ahead and be in C tier, guys, because of the Fireball and Poison. I mean, Zappies are going to get shredded, just like the Flying Machine, just like the Firecracker. They're going to get destroyed, guys. Zap. It's going to go in A because of the Snowball, because of the minor stuff going on. Zap is a really solid card in this season. I really like using Zap. Royal Delivery is underrated. It's going in B, right behind the Tornado. Royal Delivery with that minor cycle can be so strong on defense, guys. It provides so much value. Giant, for the first time in a long time, is B tier. A lot of the decks I've been losing to actually have Giant in them. Reason being, I mean, it's just such a strong card, guys. Giant with stuff behind it. Whew! It's wild, the possibilities with Giant, just because he's super cheap compared to a Lava Hound, compared to a Golem. So if you can fit a ton of good stuff behind the Giant, the possibilities are endless, guys, especially with the Poison spell. This area splash with the Poison is huge, absolutely huge with the Giant. So Arrows also going to be a B tier, pretty solid card. I mean, in the Goblin show, guys, it's going to go in C. It's average, which is something I never thought I'd say, but the changes affected the Goblin drill big time. A lot fewer people are using it. It's really not as strong, and I'm happy about that. I think it's in a good spot. It can be used, but it's certainly not as strong as it once was. So that's huge for me. So this is our first version of the changes, guys. Now, F tier, starting off with the F tier, I 100% stand by this. The Barb Hut through the Mirror, all very weak cards that really don't deserve anything in the meta. Now we're actually gonna go ahead and toss the Wizard in here, because I truly believe that the Wizard is just a negative elixir trade for you in 99% of matches or cases. It's really not a strong card. I mean, it can get the job done, but for the elixir value, it's not worth it, guys. Use something else. Now, for the D and E tier, I believe we're going to leave everything here. Now, the Night Witch, I guess she can be used. We're going to go ahead and move these Skeleton Dragons into the F tier. I really don't think they're a good card because of the Fireball value. They really don't do anything. You would never want to take Skeleton Dragons over a Baby Dragon, generally. I really don't think they're good, and we're going to actually move the Night Witch up into D tier. I think we might have been a little bit harsh on her, guys. She can spawn a lot of bats really fast, so she's, I guess, still like not really good, but she's used. We'll say that she is used. Moving up to C tier, guys. The finalized C tier is going to look like this. I don't think I want to move anything from this, because these cards are all pretty much average. I mean, I guess the Firecracker could creep up into B tier. We'll leave that there. Everything else, though, I'm really not vibing with this season, guys. The recruits were way worse than C tier, and now I'd say they're average. The Goblin Hunt and Furnace, you can make an argument, are B tier, but we're going to leave them in C tier because they really are just not the best right now. They are not the best. So, C tier is finalized. B tier, guys, we have the Elite Barbarians starting things off, and honestly, that's completely fine with me. Minions are pretty high on this list. That's okay, though, because I truly have been losing to minions because they're so much stronger than the bats, guys. It's so much easier to take down bats, right? An Electro Spirit, you're gonna need something like a Poison Fireball to take out the minions. They're good. They're actually solid, and everything here looks to be checking out. A tier, we have the Bandit starting it off strong, and then ending with the Zap. I do believe that this is a very, very, very cool A tier, guys. Never seen before, right? Like recently, this would have looked completely different, but after the changes, all of these cards are very strong. I think this is very fair, guys. I think this is fair. If I were to honestly move one of these up to S tier, it would probably be the Bandit or the Miner. The Miner is so good. He really is good. We'll go ahead and move the Bandit up to S tier, guys. She's good. She's really good for a legendary card. So Bandit's going up to S tier. And for the S tiers, guys, we're leaving all of them. Electro Spirit, Poison, Royal, Hogs, 1 unit of Skeletons, Valkyrie, and Bandit. This is the finalized list. We have a top-down comparison of every card in Clash Royale. And if you guys enjoyed this video, if you have any feedback, I'm looking forward to reading the comments on this, because this is obviously a very opinionated video, right? It's completely fine not to agree with what I'm saying. It's also fine if you do agree. That is epic. But this is all, obviously, from my perspective. I have never once spent over 7,000 trophies. I haven't really touched my mini count in a while. So maybe lower ladder, the Bandit's not very good. Maybe high ladder, the Magic Archer's the best card in the game. You know what I'm saying? I don't know because I haven't been there, but from my perspective, this seems to be a very fair tier list. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Obviously, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We are trying to come out with every single day new Clash Royale content. So thank you all so much for watching today's video. Have a great day, everybody. Master Diddy-san, out.